welcome again, everyone, to the continuing series on Origin of Alexandria. This is Ron Ditmars talking to you from the Erasmus Academy Recording Studios in Brooklyn, New York. And you see on the screen here an image of Origen and his study. And today we are privileged to have Chad being our guest speaker. Chad, you want to say hello?
Hello, Ron.
Great. So this is a series on Origen of Alexandria, and as you probably know, he was an early Christian scholar, ascetic, and theologian. His dates are 184 to 253 CE. One of the most influential figures of the early in early Christian theology, and described as one of the greatest geniuses of the early church. So, very interesting figure, and whom many probably, some of you have had the privilege of studying. So the second figure that is here that you see on the screen is Origen and his influence with the other great fathers or theologians of the early church. And this is our fourth segment. So this is the text we're going to take a look at together with Chad. So as we've done before, I'll read aloud and Chad will repeat after me. Please read with him. And then I'll ask questions to elucidate sort of the structure of the sentence, and we'll move in a common understanding of how to translate the sentences step by step. So you all set? Chad?
I'm good, Ron.
Okay, I'm glad. Okay, can you see my marks here on the screen?
Yes.
It's a little bit longer, but it's actually it flows pretty easily. There's not a lot of difficult grammar in these sentences. Okay, here we go. Die Gnostiker sind die ersten, die eine Lehre von Gott gehabt haben. Everybody?
Die Gnostiker sind die ersten, die eine Lehre von Gott gehabt haben.
Going on. War der Absolute, der Transzendente, der Ewige, der Unsichtbare, der Unbestimmbare, etc. Go ahead.
War der Absolute, der Transzendente, der Ewige, der Unsichtbare, der Unbestimmbare.
Great. Notice that this is a typo in the text. It should be USW, und so weiter, but so this is a typo in the text. Okay, let's see. In the first, up to the comma, where's the verb? Pretty easy to identify.
Sind.
Sind. So the Gnostics are the first, i.e. people, and then die is obviously referring back to the Gnostics, or the first, same thing. Who, and then here's your verb complex, have had, and where's your direct object, Chad?
Eine Lehre.
Good. Eine Lehre. So you know this is feminine because it's eine. If it would be einen if this were masculine, it's simply ein if it were neuter. Who have had a doctrine of God. Going on. War der Absolute. Let's see. This means the transcendent. These are adjectives made into nouns, so you render them as abstracts. You say that which is absolute or the absolute in that way. Let's see. You want to just translate down to the typo of etc.?
Sure.
He was from there.
Sure. The Gnostics are the first who had a doctrine of God. He was the absolute, the absolute, the transcendent, the eternal, the invisible, the undeterminable or
Exactly.
indeterminable.
Good. Going on. Die Anthropomorphism des Alten Testaments mussten ihnen ein Ärgernis sein. Everybody?
Die Anthropomorphismen des Alten Testaments mussten ihnen ein Ärgernis sein.
Good. With this long word here, sometimes you have the men as the plural formation there. So the anthropomorphisms of the Old Testament. Verb complex is?
Mussten sein.
Good. And give us a pronoun.
They must be, or they must have been might be easier.
Yeah, good. So the point is it's they, so you're looking for a plural subject. So they must have been, or they had been. So and subject is obviously the anthropomorphisms of the Old Testament must have been. And then what case is ihnen?
It's accusative.
Well, it's actually dative. It must have been to
Oh,
them.
yeah. It's plural.
Yeah, it must have been to them, i.e., to the Gnostics, a an annoyance. Good. Going on. Gott hatte keine Arme und Hände. Everybody.
Gott hatte keine Arme und
So
Hände.
this is how they're explaining how these anthropomorphisms must have seemed quite alien to the Gnostic viewpoint. Und ging nicht im Paradies spazieren
Er ging nicht im Paradies spazieren
und sprach nicht zu den Menschen.
und sprach nicht zu den Menschen.
Er zürnte und bereute nicht.
Er zürnte und bereute nicht.
Great. Okay, let me just erase some of this earlier stuff here. Okay, so going on from here, explaining, let's see, the verb is obviously hatte, so God had no arms and hands, very just like English. How's the verb complex from this comma to here?
Ging spazieren.
Great. So to go walking is the infinitive, and this is the past tense from gehen. So he didn't go walking, is how you would translate that. By the way, walking comes from the word from spatz, which also means space, to space, to extend the space actually is a part of the meaning of that verb. So he did not go walking in paradise. And go on, und sprach nicht zu den Menschen, translate.
And did not speak to people.
Good, past tense. Zürnte means to get angry and to repent, and go on, and he
did not get angry and repent.
Good. Going on. Im Gegenteil, so on the other hand, im Gegenteil, very common phrase, war der Erhabene, this is the viewpoint of the Gnostics, ferne, unbekannte Gott, everybody?
Im Gegenteil war der erhabene, ferne, unbekannte Gott.
Good. So var is obviously the subject. So in contrast, God was the view of the Gnostics. This is sublime, distant, and unknown God. Okay, let's see. Let's go on. Die Folge war, dass die meisten das Alte Testament kurzerhand verleugneten. Everybody?
Die Folge war, dass die meisten das Alte Testament kurzerhand verleugneten.
Verb?
Well, yeah, that one for sure.
This one. So the consequence was, and then what? But the verb in the next.
Verleugnet.
Yeah, this means to deny. So they denied, and now you're looking for a plural subject. Where is that?
That one's a little trickier. I think it's going to be meisten.
Good. Yeah. So there's something elided here. What is that?
Well, it could be mentioned, could be Gnostiker, could be the people we're talking about.
So Germans can sometimes just have an adjective for economy of speech, and this means the most. You have to supply in your mind the most people or the most of the Gnostics is what it's referring to. So the consequence was that most of the Gnostics understood, denied. Was the direct object?
Testament.
The Old Testament, sort of entirely, or in shorthand, right? Quickly is what it meant. What it means. Going on. Aber nicht genug damit.
Aber nicht genug damit.
But not enough thereby. Going on. Gott könnte überhaupt nicht der Schöpfer der sichtbaren Welt sein.
Gott konnte überhaupt nicht der Schöpfer der sichtbaren Welt sein.
Verb complex?
Konnte sein.
Good. And what does that mean?
He was not able to be.
Good. Yeah, including the nicht there. So how would you translate that whole? So this is he was not able to be the creator, Schöpfer. Remember the Schöpfung from Haydn.
Yes. Yeah, he was not able to be above all the creator of the visible world.
And überhaupt nicht is just to emphasize a little bit more. He was not able at all
Mm.
to be, i.e., here the creator of the visible world. Good. Let's see. Let's go from just to follow here. Let's go from the anthropomorphisms. If you just want to translate there slowly for
Sure.
us, just so we can recognize what we've put together here
Okay.
or analyzed.
Let me find my spot here. Okay. The anthropomorphisms of the Old Testament must have been an annoyance to them. God had no arms and hands. He did not go walking in paradise and did not speak to people. He did not get angry and repent.
Go ahead.
In contrast, he was the sublime, distant, unknown God. Um, the consequence, the consequence was that most people, or most of them, I suppose, denied the Old Testament summarily or out of hand. Maybe, I don't know. But that was not enough. No verb here, but kind of assumed. God was. How did you say that? God was not at all able, maybe, to be the creator of the visible world.
Good. Good. We stop right there. Go
Yeah.
on. Fantastic. Okay. Let me just go down a little bit and erase this. Okay. Good. Let's see. Okay. So going on from here. Er konnte nicht mit der Materie in Verbindung treten. Everybody?
Er konnte nicht mit der Materie in Verbindung treten.
Und vor allem konnte er doch keine so unvollkommene und schlechte Welt als die,
Und vor allem konnte er doch keine so unvollkommene und schlechte Welt als die,
in der wir leben,
in der wir leben,
geschaffen haben.
geschaffen haben.
Okay, so from here, where's the whole verb complex?
Okay, so we have konnte treten.
Good, yeah, good. And what sort of a cognate do you find from treten, which means like to step or to?
Well, I think tread actually
Yeah,
works well.
tread is a good word. Yeah, it's a nice cognate to there. So how would you translate that?
He was not able to step.
In Verbindung.
Yeah, in connection with the material matter. I don't know exactly how to do that.
Exactly, in connection with the material elements of the world, so on. Und vor allem konnte er, and then finish that.
Right.
And where's the whole verb complex with this whole one, last one?
Yeah, it's konnte geschaffen haben.
Good, all the way down to here, because you have this relative clause just sandwiched in between. But here's the completion of that verb complex. How would you translate that by itself?
He was not able to have created.
Perfect. So going from here, und vor allem.
Okay, and above all, he was not able. Indeed, I'm not sure to do with the doch. To have created such an imperfect and bad world as this in which we live.
Good. So in der actually refers back to, what's the antecedent for there? For that in der?
That's complicated. Well, the D, and then by extension, I suppose the Welt.
Exactly. Yeah. So could not have created such an imperfect and horrible world as that in der in which we live. Good, fantastic. Okay, well that's simply a little bit complicated, but I think you all did very well in getting through that with Chad. And Chad, I really appreciate your help. So look forward to you coming back for our final session on Origin. So thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.